What's up, guys? Jimmy P here, Rotted Peach Productions, and I thought I'd bring a special treat today and show you guys an end of year Commander deck list. Jimmy P's Commander decks as of the end of 2018. I have 14 decks, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys them and give you a brief description of kind of what they do. So let's get started. Alright, so the first deck, of course, is Inala, the Archmage Ritualist. Whoa. So, obviously she's very shiny with the foils. But, hold on. There we go. We call that focus. So yeah, there's Inala, the Archmage Ritualist, 2017 Commander. She was the only one of that set that I actually bought, and I'm glad it's the one I bought because you can do a lot of crazy stuff with her Imminence trigger of making copies of non-legendary wizards and then them having haste. Fantastic ability. So some of the cards that I like playing with in the deck, Helm of Possession. It's really fun what you can do with your Imminence token, swing with them and then sacrifice to take their creatures. Wonderwine Prophets, obviously there you got an infinite combo. Goo Caller Gisa, it's always nice to use your tokens and then instead of exile them, sacrifice them to get some zombies. I got a Videlkin Ether Mage there. Wizard Cycling. Who would have thought that having a wizard tutor would be so important in 2018. Time Stream Navigator. Taking extra turns with that thing, you can actually take like 3 turns. It's awesome. Inala is super fun, one of my very strong top tier decks. Next we have a good friend of mine, Guafa! Legendary Human Rogue. This is kind of like a prison beater deck. Pretty much lock the board down with removal, board wipes, counter spells. At the same time, locking down everything that I can't get with the bribery counters. Playing brutal stuff such as Leyline of Sanctity, Angelic Arbiter, Wrath of God, Planar Cleansings in that deck. Venser the Sojourner, Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. Yeah, that's right, $50 cards for your face. So, yep, just locking it down. I've got like a Yosai and some other big fatties in there, mainly with flying. I like that aerial assault. Oh, yes, one of my true favorites. Proven commodity, Krenko the Mob Boss. If you guys don't know what he does, he's a token generator, goblins. It's ridiculous. One for every goblin that you control. Some of the things I like to be doing in mine is I got like a Warstorm Surge here, Berserker's Onslaught, so I'd be doing that double strike during my attacks. I like locking the game down with Sulfuric Vortex. I mean, I'm not gaining life, so why the heck should they be gaining life? That nice little combo with Kikajiki and Siege Gang Commander, so I'm just making lots of tokens, blowing things up when I need to. Porphyros. Oh yeah, you know what's going on with Porphyros. I mean, just goblins entering the battlefield, 2 damage. I mean, it gets OP. Alright, one of my favorite decks to play because of the fun factor. Phalanx, God of Deception. He taps and then you can tap your creatures to mill equal to their toughness. 4/7 fatty. I love milling people. I think it's an excellent alternate win condition that makes your opponents look sad and bad. So obviously we got the Traumatize. Frank Sanity is key here because Traumatize, Frank Sanity, that's a one-hit kill. I mean, if you get the right combination, that's a turn 5 kill. Keening Stone, same thing. That can be a kill card after you've milled them so far. Then you just start taking their graveyard and hitting them in the face with it. Fleet Swallower, that's a creature with a Traumatize hooked onto it. Love it. Guilt Feeder, that can end games because then they're just losing life equal to what you milled. Many a games I've won with the mind grind, having to mill them for like 10 or 15 lands when I've already milled half their deck and gotten most of their lands. This deck's really fun. I got all kinds of stuff in here. Cirque, yeah, get milled. Alright, so then we have a Drana, Calistria Blood Chief. She's like a vampire with removal put on her, so first of all, I have to say I love black. It's my favorite color. I love just killing creatures. I love removing stuff from the game. I love draining stuff, so I mean, it's perfect for me. This is kind of a vampire deck with like lots of other stuff thrown into it. You know, Kalitas, you know, I like to be destroying their stuff and taking it. We got the Exsanguinate, we got a little Drain Life right there. Corrupt, you know, Cabal Stronghold. I'm playing the Crypt Ghoul that lets you double your mana. All that extra good stuff too. You know, you gotta have a lot of black mana to be busting on people. This is my newest deck, Rakdos. Demons, and it's a straight demons deck. Still working some of the kinks out and finding more cards that actually make opponents lose life so I can actually play Rakdos. But I've got a pretty good start. You know, I'm playing hold on just a sec, guys. Bump in the Night and Blood Gift Demon. Angrath the Flame Chained is a nice lose life outlet. Trailblazers Loot, so they can't block my stuff because everybody's playing with non-basics. Wound Reflection, that gets people because then it's like everybody's doing work for you. Lots of 5 and 6 drop demons so that the mana rocks that I'm using, such as Gilded Lotus and Darksteel Ingot, things like that, don't need too much, but I'm using just enough so I can play these 4 and 5 fatties. And then, you know, I've got some 6 and 7s put in there, but this deck's been pretty good. It's been about 50-50 on its win-loss ratio. Alright, now moving on down to Tier 2. Bladewing the Risen. Dragon deck. Rakdos Dragons, I guess I would say. Hold on here, still working on this focus. Sorry guys, the camera's being a little wonky with me today. Still learning some of the ins and outs of it. Alright, so anyway, yeah, Bladewing the Risen here. Excellent card for Commander. 7 is not a ridiculous amount of mana for a commander these days, and with his extra ability of bringing a dragon back from your graveyard when it comes into play, I mean, super value here. I'm learning all the good dual lands, not exactly dual lands, but the lands that tap for either a red or a black, and like Rakdos Carnarium that taps for black and red, and got some Soul Ring and stuff going on in there. You know, just playing lots of fat dragons, Varix, Ryusai. I got Tyrant's Familiar in there. Banefire. I got a lot of direct damage burn in there. Lots of cards that take your creatures and attack you with them. Harnessed by Force, and the split second one from Time Spiral. That's a rare. I got Koth in there for some flavor. Koth the Hammer! Caught the ham, was time for action! Alright, there's my rap segment for y'all for the day. Moving on, now I have Sigarda, Huron's Grace. Very cheap angel, 4/5 flying. You and humans you control, hexproof. So obviously this is a humans deck. Lots of stuff going on here with like locking down my stuff. Shalai's here to help with the hexproof, protecting my creatures. A lot of token production here. So Westvale Abbey, be surprised how that catches people slipping. Champion of the Parish, Planar Cleansing, Armadillo Cloak, lots of stuff that lets me gain life and makes my creatures fat. You know, I'm playing that other one that does the same thing. That's a color Unflinching Courage. That's just the same as an Armadillo Cloak. And the Behemoth Sledge. I mean, this deck is nasty. If you don't get it on top of my human, because I got a lot of 1 and 2 drops in here that do amazing stuff. Champion of the Parish is a good example. Glory Bringer. Y'all know the deal. Alright, so now we're getting to what I like to call the gruesome twosome. These were my first 2 commander decks and my most trusted commodities, I guess you would say. Thraxi Mandar, first of all. Yep, that's a foil. You like it. Let's get a little closer look there. Oh yeah, so shiny. So this is my zombie deck. It was my first commander deck, along with the one that's coming up next. And it's still in the same old dirty sleeves that I've had since I started playing commander in like 2015. You know, it's a zombie deck. I'm playing Rooftop Storm. I like Undead Alchemist because I be milling them and getting zombies. Army of the Damned is a must. Vengeful Pharaoh is nasty. They don't be ready for that, and they'll forget that, you know, when they attack, you're destroying their creatures and getting the Pharaoh back. I can't say enough about my foil, Lich Lord of Unks. He gets unksy, doing all kinds of stuff for me. The foil probably doesn't show up so good on these because of how old these sleeves are. But that's neat. Now, moving on to maybe my most favorite, Obadiah the Ghost Council. Yeah, that's a super foil right there. You can see that symbol real nice. This is my most reliable commander deck that I have, and I think it's gotten me pretty much my most wins. And highly successful. It's pretty much just me gaining life, you losing life, me killing your creatures. I got fatties. Tried and true. I got the white splashed in there, but I'm playing like Urborg to make sure all my lands get to be swamps. I got a couple of other outlets that turn my lands into swamps. Playing some nasty little combos here. You know, Sanguine Bond, Palace Siege. The Palace Siege and Sanguine Bond are fantastic. There's a nice little combo with Obadiah and Suture Priest here. Sorry about the focus, guys. I love using Suture Priest and Obadiah because you end up when Obadiah's trigger comes into play and it's phasing in at the beginning of your upkeep with Suture Priest. They're losing 3 and you're gaining 3. So that gets ridiculous really fast because like it's surprising how often I'll get Suture Priest in my opening hand or, you know, within turn 2 so that I can play it. Of course, Damnation, Planar Cleansing, all them good old board wipes. Oh, looky there, foil 7th edition corrupts. You cry. I do. Obadiah is by far my favorite and most consistent commander deck that I own. Thraxi Mandar, he's just super fun. He's won tons of games too. Soldiers in the Struggle. This is also one of my more newer decks, Izoni the Thousand Eyes. This is a work in progress. It has a lot of newer cards in it that I'm slowly switching out for older stuff that I have as I find it, because I'm currently in the process of sorting my cards and it takes forever. If you guys know what I'm talking about when you're sorting your cards, that it's a very long and daunting process. So pretty much I got lots of creatures that cause sacks to occur when they come into play, ETB triggers, lots of creatures that are sack outlets themselves so I can get creatures into my graveyard for Izoni's ability, Lolith Giant, so I can be hitting them with direct damage from my destroyed creatures, Impervious Great Worm, Indestructible Death, Gerard, that's one of my main go-tos for a sack outlet. I'm playing both Vraskas. I only got this one out though, but yeah, great sack outlets, great kill condition with the other Vraska with the assassin tokens. This deck's pretty fun, but like I said, it's a work in progress. I'm not really comfortable sacking my own creatures for stuff, so I gotta get used to it. Rurik Thor. Oh boy. Now, there's been many different iterations of Rurik Thor. This one now is probably the one I'm most proud of and has been pretty consistent and gets me some pretty awesome wins in group games if they don't handle him, because I mean his ability that allows you to cause damage when they're casting their non-creature spells is a real good way to lock down the board. And he's a 6/6 for 6, so I mean the value's there. Vigilance, oh, it's nice. So you know, I'm playing Gigantors in this deck. You know, we're in Ancient's Tread for that super direct damage. Idolai, those kind of creatures. I got all kinds of dinosaurs and big fatties for the 4 to 6 and even 7 range, but I can cast it. I got all green is really good for fetching lands and ramping. Decimate, you don't know how often a turn 4 Decimate just wins you a game. Galta, yeah, that's a real pretty foil. Galta, a lot of foil. I like to bling out my commander decks. I mean, why not? If you're so proud of them, show them you're proud. Alright, we're getting down to the last 2 commander decks here. Alright, so Grenzo, the Dungeon Warden. Hold on a sec, guys. Alright, so Goblins, zombies. I'm a sucker for tribal. They make a lot of ones that I'm interested in. Grenzo, obviously, Rakdos Goblins. Oh, this focus. Really sorry, guys. So we got Grenzo here, and obviously he's really good for getting creatures out onto the battlefield. From the bottom, it's fun to pay the 2 mana and tell people you're going to take a hit from the well and see what you pull. I mean, for 4 mana, you got a 4/4 Grenzo, and like most of the stuff in this deck, as far as goblins, the power isn't greater than 3. So it's real easy to get your goblins out. If you got a bunch of goblins in your hand and then you wait to play Grenzo, then you end up getting a bigger fat one, and then like there's things like Stalking Vengeance and other cards that I got some dragons up in there and stuff like that, some surprises that you can end up hitting. Scorpion God. But you know, I'm also playing all the fun red black goblins, War. You know, I got some flavor in there, playing some Karavik for some spice. I can't stress enough about this card here, Squeaky Pie Grubfellows. The kinship, making your opponent's discard when you're drawing your goblins, and then you get to put it in your hand. It's awesome. Man, this focus is really frustrating here, guys. Alright, down to the last commander deck here. One of my more nastier ones. Vrosh, the Hunter. Me and my camera are going to have a little talk after this video for sure. And this is an infect deck, actually. So, you know, I'm playing Triumph of the Horde, Tainted Strike, tons of infectors, lots of stuff with trample on it. Rancor has won me several games. You know, Phyrexian Vat Mother does work. Sorry about that glare here. Let's try to get a better angle. You know, I got the Viridian Infectors. You know, lots of real cheap, low casting cost infects. Yeah, Phyrexian Hydra. Just trying to get through for the 10. There's plenty of ways to do it cheaply, and you know, you want to get the ramp on them. Obviously, one good Tainted Strike from Vrosh, even if it's just the first turn you're coming in with him, that's 7 infect counters. It only takes 10. So 14 commander decks. I know I was rambling on a little bit, and I'm sorry about the focus problems, But I hope you enjoyed this video and kind of got an idea of what kind of commander player I am and what I like to do. I have a very varied amount of commander decks, but I play a lot of black. I like it. More commander decks are coming in the future, more videos are coming in the future, so if you like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notifications button so you're up to date on all of our videos and postings. For Rotted Peach Productions, I'm Jimmy P, and see you later.